Good morning. Just not really feeling like talking much today. I thought maybe I would let you hear the birds. Birds sound really lovely this morning. We've got some blossoms here. Really close so you can see them. Not to get those two confused if it's thimbleberry or if it's salmonberry. I think those are salmon berries. It's pretty warm yesterday. I'm going to try and put a link in this one or my last video about slow jogging. I really enjoy it. I don't go very fast, but I started kind of last year, and I don't really have any issues with my knees or sometimes when my hips are sore from just poor diet or something, I'll feel it. But then one time, I also got really upset one time and I started running really fast, and then the next day my hip was hurting. But in general, the slow jogging is low impact and has a lot of great benefits. For me, I've actually dropped, I think when I started it was like 260, and I'm starting to see where I might be able to get under 200 pounds. And that's my dream, is just, well, mostly to be healthier. These beautiful oak growth maples. Just incredible. My kids used to climb in these when they were little. It's beautiful trees here. I'm trying to keep the camera steady so it's not quite so bumpy. I think I probably need to get some on these beautiful trees. Need to get some equipment or something. Thought about like a GoPro. So that way it could be hands-free. In case I need to get to my bear spray. My bear spray. Always got the bear spray right out front here. I like to jog in different places, so hopefully I'll be able to show you a few other places that I like to go. I like to go to this kind of marshy area. It's got trails. It's really beautiful. But yeah, exercise, I've always walked most of my life. I almost, every other day, every day sometimes. And I think that has been really good for my health over the years. This beautiful mist. This is one thing I love about getting out in nature, even in the same place, is every day it'll be slightly different. You never know what you're gonna get to see this beautiful mist. A little pasture out here. This used to be actual dairy pasture. And like I said in my last video, I've seen a cougar out here. I've run into a bear out here. Funny story, I'll tell you a funny story about running into the bear out here. I was out here with a friend, a male friend. Here's our beautiful Sauk Mountain again. So this trail is just below Sauk Mountain and it's Upper Skagit. So look at that mist, it's so beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, I was with a male friend, we were walking this trail and I had handed him the bear spray. Didn't think we'd see a bear. Wasn't really thinking about it. And then we come around a corner. Usually happens. We go around a corner. The bear didn't hear us. You don't see it until you're right there. And there was this little brown thing. Black, I think. And it was looking like a little dog or something. And he says to me, he goes, "Is that a dog?" I don't know, is that? Because even for me, I was a little confused. I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Is that a dog? And then it just hit me. Oh, shit, it's a bear. And it was, because it was a little ways away from us. So it looked a little bit smaller than I think it actually was. But, so he just kind of panicked. I stood there. And I was like, hey, here, hand me the bear spray. Because, I've had occasion to use the bear spray more than once. One time I got attacked by these livestock guardian dogs. Oh my God. Yeah, I was on my bike actually. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so he, yeah, it was just kind of funny how he just sort of froze. But you know, the first few times you see a bear, you might just freeze. And you're like, oh shit. But, so he handed me the bear spray and then the little bear just kind of ran off. So they generally don't really want to have anything to do with you. I think most don't. I don't know. I think maybe it's a little different if it's a grizzly. But it seems like all the things I've heard about grizzlies is it's mostly they'll have trouble if they have like a cub or I don't know. One time I was curious about how, like, where the most bear attacks occurred in the country, and turns out it was Glacier National Park. And seems like it's been a while since I kind of looked that up, but I think it was getting people in their tents. And so if you go to the backcountry or, you know, do any backcountry camping, you always want to make sure that all your food is stored away from your tent. So, anyway, beautiful day. There's a trail we just came down. The sun coming up. Gorgeous day. We're blessed. And this beautiful trail here. Maybe it looks boring, but what will be fascinating is to see it change over the season. Pretty soon there'll be hundreds of blackberries out here. But I encourage people to get out and see nature, even if it's just a little city park. Even if it's just, you know, a little garden you create on your patio in your apartment. You know, nature is so important for our mental health. Maybe I think being autistic, it's really, really important for my nervous system to get out in nature. Trying not to make my shadow the primary focus of. Got a long shadow this morning. Look at that. There's the old growth trees. Old growth where there used to be an eagle's nest up there in one of them, but I think there was a windstorm, took it down. Get to see the river again. I don't know if anybody's going to want to watch these, but I just thought it could be fun. People to see the changing of the seasons over a period of time. I don't know if I'm going to do this every day, but we'll see what happens. Maybe you can tell me in the comments what you like to do in nature. Do you like to, I used to make the excuse of going out and flying my kite over the river as a way, because I would feel a little bit guilty for just, you feel like you always got to be productive. You always got to do work. You can't just go out and enjoy nature for nature's sake. And so I would have projects like collecting beaverwood sticks so I can make trellises, or flying my kite. Flying kites is really fun. Like these fun things we did as children, and we kind of stopped doing them. Maybe you can bring back some of that. It just makes life more joyful. Yeah, I'm trying to think of when it was I started slow jogging last year. I think it was not too long after New Year's. I just, one day, walking just wasn't enough. And I don't think I could jog for very far before I got kind of tired or stopped. Even now, I'll occasionally stop and have a glass or have a sip of water. And so, I mean, I don't kill myself doing it. I just go really easy. And I think you're supposed to be able to talk. You're supposed to be able to not get out of breath. You're supposed to go slow and easy. So today, I got funny these particular little shoes on. Just kind of fun. I'm always on the lookout for new river shoes. Looks like the team cleared this little branch out of the way. Takes a bit to keep all these trails open. I got a big branch right here, right in the middle of the trail. It's nice and cool this morning. I do have a coat on. I'll probably shed that at some point. I definitely think it's jacked up my metabolism because I'm not jogging as much as I was when I started, but I still feel like sometimes in the afternoon, if I get a little bit of some movement, my body takes that and I feel like inner heat. I don't know if that was a very good description, but here's the river again. Look at how beautiful that is. That's something. Two rivers here actually. So there's my push-up bench. I don't know if I can set this so that you can still see the river while I do my push-ups. I think I tried this yesterday. Didn't work out well, but there you go. 2, 4, 5. I'm only doing 5. I was up to 10, but then I wasn't doing it for a while. Oops, I had this backwards. Trying to hold this camera steady. There's the beautiful river again. How beautiful is that? So gorgeous. I've seen river otter in there. I've seen, I've come upon beaver. One thing being neurodivergent that's kind of irritating is there's a little spider that throws a web across this trail. So as I'm jogging, I get the web on my face. I did do another video about this. It was kind of my official first video, but I'm kind of embarrassed to post it, about sensitivity, being neurodivergent, being sensitive. And if you're neurodivergent, you know what I mean. Like the running thing is, we don't like the tags in our clothes and stuff. But it's more than that. It's like I can literally feel if there's some piece of fuzz on the inside of my shirt. Like it will bug me until I take that shirt off, find it, take it off. And then sometimes, maybe it's my ADHD side, is like, I can go for hours and hours and hours without even drinking water. So I have to literally consciously tell myself, oh, drink water. Here's an interesting plant. I call it Scotch broom. I think it has a couple other names. But it's an invasive. It's all up in here. You can kind of see that the yellow blossoms. The interesting thing about it is the seeds, I think I read somewhere, survive for 100 years. Like they're viable for 100 years. It was generously broadcasted along roadways as a hillside stabilizer. And consequently, some beautiful reeds. Consequently, it became invasive, took off, and so it's pretty much everywhere. And that and just stuff like Japanese knotweed, certain plants that are really invasive, non-native to the area, very invasive. It seems like they kind of sort of got a handle on that over there, but it's kind of an ongoing process of trying to eliminate these invasive species. Here we got side channels, critical juvenile salmon habitat. This is that little side channel that they put a lot of money into. There's a lovely little bridge they built. Used to have to just walk through the water here, which wasn't a big deal in the winter. It's kind of refreshing. I used to really actually like it. Gotta try and be loud right around here. On the hillside. Anyway, it's fun. Sometimes I just clap around corners, because that's usually where you're going to encounter something. They don't really see you or hear you coming. Ah! Just use the funny call. Ah! Look both ways. Nope, no wildlife. Beautiful old growth maple. Sometime I'll go up into the state park, show you the little trees there. It's a big, beautiful fern doing its little happy dance here. How big that is. Almost like as tall as I am to the hip. And I'm curious why autistic people enjoy nature so much. Maybe it's because there's less obnoxious sounds. The sounds are more predictable for our brain, like birds, the wind. I don't know. The beauty of things to look at. The changing of the seasons, actually seeing the changing of the seasons over time. This is a native nut called a hazelnut, or hazelnut. A few of them in here. Apparently they can be used for bows because their branches are really straight. Look at this one. It's really super straight. See how straight that is? There's an old fir. We got this no hunting sign. Teetering. Look here. Hey, little beautiful fir. There's a Doug fir. You can kind of tell by the bark too, if you look really closely. Yeah. Really deep grooves. We got some vine maple over here. More blossoms. Beautiful blossoms. Some of them are already starting to set little fruits in there. Yeah, my son keeps telling me, you need to start a YouTube channel, Mom. I don't really understand why he keeps saying it, but well, here you go, Edgar. Probably gonna bore people to death, but hey, if you want your little nature for the day, you could even just turn off the sound and just enjoy the beauty. I would not be offended. In fact, I'm gonna probably try and be quiet for a while so you can enjoy the bird song. Here's an amazing sight to see. Is this big tree just dropped up here. Imagine how big that is, how old it is, and then it just cracked right there. Sometimes during storms I can hear trees just dropping like dominoes. One up here that came down, you can see it. Big old giant old growth Doug firs. And then they become little logs, nurse logs for other smaller trees as they start decaying. Sometimes they get, I don't know what would grow on them, but I know the alders, down the alders will have mushrooms. Have the oyster mushrooms. We just went through that season. Spring oyster mushrooms. Yeah, I just take it easy. It feels really good. Just get out and move. This is coming on a mile here. Those beautiful maples. These are the big leaf maple. What a beautiful canopy up there. Look at that. Big old cottonwood. Big old cottonwood. Another one right beside it here. What do you got there? Oh, looks like an alder. Big old alder. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. Birds are really crazy this morning. Hope you can hear them. Maybe my next one will be at the marsh or the old growth forest. You can kind of see a little pond down here. The viewers have been trying to dam that up. Water will stay there for a little while, but then it will ultimately dry up. turned into just a really thin creek. Yep, I'm not very fast, but I get out and do it. I'm not, honestly, I'm not in competition with anybody. Just getting out and getting some movement. There we go. Be a little bit bright here. I think that's our